What began as a subprime mortgage problem has become a full-blown financial crisis not seen in decades, if not since the Great Depression of the 1930s. Capital markets are frozen, unemployment is rising, and production is down. As we all know, the federal government has put forward a number of initiatives to address this crisis, including the enactment of the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. This morning, we are going to begin an extended investigative look at the $787 billion Federal Economic Recovery Plan and its proposed funding to states, local governments, schools, businesses, and working families. Our primary focus will be on the economic and workforce development portions of the federal plan and how those monies can be used in California to address our immediate needs and to also serve as a catalyst for the longer-term economic prosperity of the state. In preparation for this work, I asked committee staff to prepare an economic development recovery strategy to help us seize this opportunity to put forth a comprehensive blueprint to guide the state's economic and workforce development actions. Last week, we released an initial draft. It is in your binder, and copies are also provided to the public. I look forward to further developing this document with the assistance of committee members and stakeholders. The foundation of the strategy is that government does not create jobs. The private sector does. Further, given the state's current financial situation, the state's role should be that of a facilitator between public resources and local communities, workers, and businesses. While monetary policy is set in Washington, D.C., the federal government has a limited ability to make targeted investments in local communities. The state has the ability, and I believe the responsibility, to serve in this important intermediary role and help to connect the dots, if you will, and maximize the impact of federal stimulus dollars. During the course of this morning's hearing, we will have an opportunity to hear more about California's share of the federal stimulus plan, as well as examine the state's economic and workforce development policies, programs, and services, and their ability to support local economic and workforce development activities. Before explaining the structure of today's hearing, I want to emphasize that this is just one in a number of outreach activities that are planned around the development of the strategy. Over the next 6 weeks, we will be engaged in community meetings and local economic development roundtables throughout the state. I want to encourage all our members to engage in their communities on what the state can do to facilitate local economic and workforce activities.